I am your host, FatDag. You're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Twitter and Instagram at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, and your celebrations, and I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello, welcome to episode 60 of Wise Advice, and just wanted to open the show and say sometimes, here I am, at Lifetime, at Goal, and I had a conversation tonight that I think speaks true to a lot of us who are at this Lifetime stage is sometimes even I don't believe I did it. And I told you before, when I first started, I didn't believe I could do it, and you guys believed in me, and I believe in you. And then somewhere in the middle, I started believing myself, and that's what enabled me to power through. And then now that I'm completely through, I get to the other side and I look back and I'm like, man, I can't believe I did that. So that's what's so interesting about this journey. When you reach goal, when you reach your lifetime, it is so different than anything we've ever experienced that we have a hard time believing we did it. In fact, we have a hard time believing we can do it, which is why I stress the fact that I believe you can do it, because I now know what it takes to get here. Took me a long time to figure it out, but I know what it takes. And I know that everybody has the ability to persevere, to get it done. I want you to go after it. I believe in you. I believe you can do it, and I want you to get it done. So great job. Keep up the great work. And let's open the show with Meredyth. Meredyth writes in, she says, I made it through my first full week, and I stopped eating when I was out of points. A simple concept, but a light bulb moment. I've lost 60 pounds working out and following a pretty strict eating plan. Life and my dad's illness and passing away, I'm up 14 pounds. I lost focus and the ability to be strict with my eating. I thought Weight Watchers had worked for me in the past, so I had my first full week on plan, stayed within all of my points, and I felt great. I've listened to all your podcasts. They really help me keep motivated. I love your ability to be pragmatic and take the emotion out of the eating. Your ability to be succinct and to the point, as well as truly understand the program, is such a blessing. You've also taught me about finding my goal weight. I would say I have about 40 pounds to go. I started at 233. I'm currently 185 with a goal weight of 150. Anyway, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate reading and listening to all of your podcasts. Question: do you think adding alcohol is okay in moderation within the points? Also, I'm going on vacation, looking forward to the beach, my favorite restaurant. There is a shrimp restaurant, and I looked it up, and it's 8 fried shrimp is 7 points. Is that something I should have, or would you recommend during the weight loss phase, no alcohol or no fried foods? I'm going for a lifestyle change, but I also like to get to goal sooner rather than later. Meredyth. Meredyth, thanks for your email. First of all, absolutely. When you stop eating when you're out of points, I always say stop eating points when you're out of points. Just for the clarification, you can still eat 0-point foods and you should eat 0-point foods. But that's the critical component to this is you have to stop eating points when you're out of points, because that's the only way you're going to learn to make the lifestyle adjustment needed to sustain this long term. I'm so sorry to hear about your father passing. That absolutely plays in, and you do need to take the time to grieve. We've talked about that before. That's when your life gets back to your new normal, that's when you resettle back into your plan. You've lost 60 pounds, so you know how the program works. You know you can get it done. You know you have the ability to do it. You know you can do it. It's just a matter of finding your new groove and getting there. When it comes to getting to your goal weight, you say I have 40 pounds left to go, and your goal weight's around 150, you're going to know when you get to goal weight. A lot of times when we think about what our goal weight is and we ask people to pick a goal weight, we don't have a concept of what this looks like. I had no idea what my goal weight was. The number actually scared me, in fact. So all I would say is continue to work the plan. Don't necessarily focus on the number. follow through the plan, continue to stay on track, get your blue dots, earning your blue dots, work in the program. And at some point, you'll say, wow, I don't want to lose any more weight. That's when you're at your goal weight. You'll know it. You'll know it when it comes around. Now, when it comes to alcohol in moderation and fried foods, the beauty of the Weight Watcher program is you can eat whatever you want as long as you keep it within your points. At some point, you will make the adjustment to wean yourself off fried foods or to wean yourself off alcohol, but it's not something you need to do deliberately. You're going to make a choice at some point to whether you're running out of points. Do you want to have, a fried shrimp dinner, or would you rather have a baked chicken? And at some point, you'll make that decision on your own. So I say absolutely enjoy the life that you have right now. Enjoy everything that you're setting yourself up for. Keep in mind that you want to stay on the plan. And if you can stay on the plan, all of this stuff works in moderation. So don't cut them out, because if you cut something out of your diet completely, if you cut it out of your routine completely, but you haven't replaced it with a healthy alternative, then at some point that food's going to come crawling back. So fried food's a great example. At some point, if you can start, making the transition, you'll start seeing the point value when you make a transition from fried food to baked food, and you'll reward yourself by having extra points, and you'll be able to have larger dinners and have have the alcohol if you want it because you have the points left over. But you're going to make the transition naturally. So just start making some substitutions. See if they can be new habits. If those substitutions turn into new habits, you're good to go. So Meredyth, thanks for your email. Congrats again. You're doing fantastic work. Jessica out of McIntosh, Minnesota writes in, says, thanks for your service and thank you for all of your podcast. I look forward to each one. I listened to the new one on my way home from work to get me fired up for the chaotic evening with my kids and husband. Listening seems to keep me on track. This is my 6th time back to Weight Watchers. This is it. I'm down 15.2 pounds in 5 weeks. I love how in control I feel. Have a great day. Thanks again for all your inspiration you provide, Jessica. Jessica, that's a great strategy, listening on your way home from work, because, generally speaking, we wake up, we wake up on plan. Every single morning you wake up completely on plan. Regardless of the day before, you wake up the morning on plan. You have a fresh set of points. You're ready to go. It's easy sometimes to get through breakfast, to get through lunch. Then on that drive home, you're right, the evening's when we falter. So if you plugged in the evening on your way home from work, you're setting yourself up for success for the evenings, and that's a great strategy. It's clearly working for you. 15.2 pounds in 5 weeks is phenomenal work. It's focus. It's discipline. And when you say you love how in control you feel, that's what I want you to tap into. That feeling will carry you to goal. That's right. The feeling right there will carry you all the way to goal. So keep up the great work, Jessica. Thanks for your email as well. Corkey writes in, says, hello, I'm a newbie listening to your podcast and following you, but you rock, man. I just have a quick question. So, muscle weighs, right? So when you gain muscle, you're also gaining weight, right? Well, if that's the case, how will I ever reach my goal weight if I also want to get a little muscular? Thank you for what you're doing. You're inspiring, and thank you for your time, Corkey. Well, for sure, muscle adds weight to your body, right? Absolutely. And so the general topic is, a pound of muscle is the exact same as a pound of fat on the scale. However, a pound of muscle takes up a quarter of the space as that same pound of fat. So if you hop on the scale and I posted this on Conenct a couple weeks ago, so you may have to scroll through a little bit to dig through it, but I posted a picture where I had a picture of me standing there at 172 pounds and then roughly 185 pounds, I forget. But it was basically 11-pound gain. And if you look at the two pictures, the picture of me at 185 looks way better because I've added muscle tone and muscle definition to my body. So as I reduced the fat, added muscle, the scale went up, my clothing sizes went down. The tone, the shape of my body went down, and I got more cut. So I don't care what the scale says at all. So quit focusing on the scale. Focus on following the plan. If you want to work out and you're ready to add strength training in, add strength training in because there's some significant benefit to muscle gain to your body that doesn't have anything to do with the scale. So you'll notice the difference absolutely as you start working the plan. I feel really good right now. And I know in a lot of accounts I look really good compared to where I was before. And so, I'm happy with the muscle gain that I'm adding. It is adding up on the scale. I know that. So I'm not concerned about that piece of it. Dani writes in, she says, "Hi, I'm writing because I've been really struggling lately on my journey. I've gained at least 50 pounds when I was pregnant, and I have lost 40 of those since my daughter was born just over a year ago. Weight Watchers has been a huge part of this accomplishment and has taught me so much. The problem I'm having is losing these last 10 pounds. I'm sitting at around 155, is that I cannot seem to put all the pieces together. Things I've learned about food, things I've learned about fitness, things I've learned about myself, and all the new tools are in my toolbox. Since starting Weight Watchers, I feel like I've been truly on a journey in every sense of the word. I've gone through months where I tracked religiously, months where I simply did nothing other than stalk Conenct, and months where I worked out consistently 3 to 4 days a week. I even ran my first 10K ever in April. It was a huge non-scale victory for me. What I find, though, is that when I'm working out, I struggle to track. And when I'm tracking, it's generally because I've fallen off the workout wagon. Because I cannot seem to put all these pieces together at the same time, I feel like I'm constantly yo-yoing around with these last 10 pounds. To some degree, I think I've gotten comfortable. My pre-pregnancy clothes all fit again, although not quite as well as I would like, and I'm definitely still making huge progress overall in terms of my fitness goals, as indicated by my 10K. So, any advice you have about consistency, putting all these moving pieces together, the water, the workouts, the food, the self-care, I want to live a healthy lifestyle for the rest of my life, and I'm trying so hard to be patient with myself as I figure out the right balance for me, but so far it continues to elude me. Thanks for all you do, Dani." Well, Dani, the first question I would have to ask you is are you working the plan consistently, right? And when you say you're having a problem with the last 10 pounds, and so I say this with a ton of love and a ton of self-respect for you, but you said it in your email. You're bouncing around the last 10 pounds and you work out and then you don't track. You track and then you don't work out. You visit Conenct for a little while to stock and you piece it all together. Let's prioritize these things, Senior. In the order of things that you should be doing, tracking is the number one. More than anything, tracking is going to get you to where your goal weight is. So we go back to focusing on the blue dots. You lost 50 pounds. You lost 40 pounds. You said you lost 40 pounds. So you know how to do this. You got to focus back on what did it take to get those 40 pounds off. You didn't do that by accident. You did it by staying focused on your eating. Adding workouts in is a key, right? But you're doing it. So let's focus on the blue dots. That is the number one piece. Now, as far as your working out goes, 3 to 4 days a week, great job there. You're running up 10K. That's phenomenal work. Nice run. So glad to see that. You certainly are doing the right thing by adding that into your journey. It's very key and it's critical to get that done. And then when you say you've gotten comfortable, I certainly agree with that. I understand the complacency part of this journey attacks a lot of us at a lot of different times. And when you said that your clothes all fit again, although not quite as well, that key word is not as well. I'm telling you right now, when you get to your goal weight, that feeling goes away. That's the feeling that we need to get to. When you hop on the scale and you're completely happy, when you put on clothes and there is no thought in your mind that it doesn't look good or feel good or fit good, that's what goal is. That's what you should be striving for. That's what you're on your way to go get. And it's just a matter of 10 pounds for you. So 10 pounds, let's focus on that. Let's focus on tracking. Let's reset everything. Let's dig into the tracker. How bad do you want these clothes to fit? How bad do you want to step on that scale and say, I don't want to lose any more weight? Imagine how good you're going to look at that point. You have the ability to get it done. So Dani, go get it done. I'm here rooting for you. Now don't overdo it with the exercise, right? Because that's not where we get the most gain. We get the most gain from the tracker. So thanks again for that. Jane writes in, says, congrats on your life change. It's so worth it, isn't it? My question for you is, how do you word a question on Conenct so you get more than a few responses? I can understand how a man would get responses due to the fact that I guess a great majority of the people on Weight Watchers are women. But when I post, I haven't received many replies, and at least one is always my sister. I want to believe in Conenct because you speak so highly of it, but it isn't really that great for me. Would love your opinion. My Weight Watcher username is NurseJane31. Check out my post and let me know. Jane, well, first off, we just told a couple thousand people to go follow you, so that may help a little bit. But let's talk about this. The hashtags. A lot of people don't understand the hashtag version in Conenct. What a hashtag is, the hashtag groups a bunch of posts together by a subject. So if you use the hashtag NSV for non-scale victory, and someone were to read another post that had that hashtag in it, and they clicked on that hashtag, then your post would show up in that same feed of all of the posts that are linked together with a similar hashtag, with the same hashtag. So Weight Watchers prompts the app Conenct prompts you every day with a daily writing topic that is a hashtag. So start using that. And as people read that, look for some of the more popular hashtags. Use that. Don't overdo it. There's nothing worse than scrolling through Conenct and you see a post that has 18,000 hashtags at the bottom and you got to scroll past it. Find the ones that really relate to the story that you're telling, to the post that you're posting, and use those hashtags. Give a shout out to your sister. She's doing phenomenal work. She's out there supporting you. Find some people who motivate you. Follow them. Generally, they respond by following you back. And so then you start growing this community. So I will caution you, there comes a point where Conenct is a game changer. Absolutely. There comes a point where it can be a little overwhelming. You want to be in that sweet spot where you get a handful of responses so you can actually connect with the folks that you're working with. And you can actually, it resonates and you have your own little support system. I'll be honest with you, when you get a handful of followers, a little more than, a dozen or so, it becomes incredibly difficult to keep up. So be careful what you ask for. Find your tribe. Find the ones that resonate the most with you. Dig in with them and go get it done. So Jane, thanks for your email. Keep up the great work. I want to close the show talking about Operation FatDag. We've discussed that a couple times. The dates are posted on my website. I could really use, again, your support. Send in a card of motivation. I'll be speaking to a group of Army soldiers, and I think there will be some airmen in this group this time. They're all folks who are struggling with their weight, struggling with their fitness test, a place that I was for sure much of my career. I now have the distinct honor of being able to come in and talk to them, tell them I know exactly what they're going through. I feel it, and I let them know that I believe in them. And I let them know that you believe in them as well. And when I did this last time and I handed these cards out, you could see the reaction. You could see the emotion as they sat there and read the cards silently. It had an impact. So if you would again, go ahead, go to fatdag.com, click on Operation FatDag. You'll find the address. It'll also be in the show notes to go ahead and send a card. We've got a couple weeks before that due date is out there. And you go ahead and get that done. And lastly, my friends at Withings, probably going to send me, I gave a scale away to that last time and they've stepped up and they're going to do a blog feature on me and Operation FatDag. So real soon you'll be able to read, a little bit of the FatDag story on the Withings website, which I think is really exciting. Go to fatdag.com, click on my blog, and you'll see my latest post about that. They've given me a step tracker to give away, a Steel HR, which is what I've transitioned to. So if you want to go ahead and register for that, do that. But otherwise, I want to know what you're celebrating. Let's hear it on the air. Let's go to fatdag.com, click on listen now, send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. But that's going to do it for this time. Remember, losing weight, getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus.